Right, welcome back. So now what we're going to do is we're going to continue on Ali Chat, and what I want to do is I want to implement the checkout screen. So let's look at our screen here, and let's take a look at the HTML. And I have a method for a checkout screen from Ali from OpenDJ Radio. We'll pump in here. So this is going to say no padding on this. No double card. We want this checkout successful. And then what we're going to do is we're going to be iterating through our data source. And for each purchasable item, we're going to show the picture. We're going to show the line item and the order quantity. So if I look at my checkout component, I want to have a couple of things. The first one is I want to have a purchase, which is the I purchase that we made. I know I want to have displayed columns here, which is a type of string array. And we want to set that equal to be image, purchase, order, line, name, and order quantity. And then finally, we also need to have our data source for our table, which is a new mat table data source. And we want to do that for a I purchasable line item. Why do I keep hearing music? All right. So now I need to inject here my card service. And then I want to just do a this dot purchase equals this dot cart service. And this, sorry, goes on the constructor. Like that. And then we want to set our data source to be this dot purchase line items. And that's it. We don't actually have to load anything from the server on this page. And then finally, we need to have our CSS, which is here. And we can get rid of our padding simple. Okay. That should be it for our checkout screen. Now, if we look at our checkout fail screen, on that one, we are just going to have this little bit of HTML. We don't need this padding basic stuff. And we want to say that we're going to have content here, which is going to say purchase was failed. And then that's it. And we only need one of these MAC cards. Okay. No CSS on this one and nothing on here. The next one that we have is our historic purchases. And we also want to have a comments page. So if I look at my historic purchases, what I want to do for this is, and we also want to have a page for release notes. And on this, I'm going to have a couple of things. The first is I need to have a couple of purchases. So that's my purchases, I purchase, which is a array, so we can have multiple of them. And then we're going to have the NGX loading on it, so that'll be false. We want to set my data source to be equal to my new mat table data source of my iPurchase. And then also we want to have displayed columns here, which are a string array for my timestamp charged, and then purchase lines, and then was charge accepted, and then our subtotal. When I look at my model that I'm passing back for purchase, was charge accepted, timestamp charged, purchase lines, and subtotal. Okay. We also want to have two things here. The first is a view child for my mat paginator, which is called paginator. And the next one is an @view child for my mat sort, because we want to have both pagination and sort on this table. On my constructor, I want to have a private web hub, which is a web hub service. On my init, I want to do a this.datasource.sort is equal to this.sort, this.datasource.paginator equals this.paginator, this.loading equals true, and then we want to do this.webhub.request purchases. And we want to have one more here called a back button, which will be like that. And I want to bring in here my private location from my Angular Common. Okay, over on my Web Hub service, we need to create a new one called Purchases Received, which is an iPurchase array. And then down here, we want to have a receive purchases, which is a purchases, which is an iPurchase array called purchases received, like that. And then we also want to have our request purchases, which is a request purchases. And then finally down here we want to have a get purchases, which is an iPurchase array called purchases as an observable item. And now that we have that all done, we can just go ahead and make our new subscription here called purchases received subscription, which is a subscription. And in my constructor, we want to do a this.purchasesReceived is equal to this.webhub.getPurchases. And we want to subscribe my purchases like that. And we also need to have in here a on destroy, which is a ng on destroy. And we're going to do a this dot unsubscribe. And now here we can do a this dot purchases equals purchases, this dot data source dot data equals this dot purchases. And then we can also do a this dot loading equals false. That's it. On purchases, I want to have some HTML, so I've already got this keyed out. So over here we can get rid of my padding simple and my padding basic. And we have our loading with our back button here. This is our data source with our timestamp charge. Was the charge accepted? A currency in our purchase lines. So all that looks good. And if I look at my CSS, I'll just bring in just a second. Yeah, so I'm actually bringing in another line here called app purchase lines. So we need to create that component, and we can get rid of this. Because we need to have purchase lines. So let me add a new terminal called ng generate component. And it's in my features cart purchase lines. And we want to put that in my module called cart. And now we have purchase lines available to us. So now when I look at my cart, I'm going to have a button in here called, let's put this in the purchasable items. Past purchases right here, which is going to take me to purchases in my router link, which should be good to go. Let's give it a test. Can't find a purchase because it's not a purchase lines. So in purchase lines, I need to make sure that I have my an input parameter here for a purchase called high purchase. And that'll be enough. So now when I look at my purchasable items and I click on the past purchases, it tells me it can't find that method right now, which is okay. And if we went and we checked out here one additional currency and a additional stream and I did a payout, it'll ask me to confirm it. And now it's telling me that the following items have been applied to my account. It's interesting that they don't have my picture with them, but that still took me to the right area. If I went here and I did another one of these, and I did a payout, and I said cancel, okay, that's all right. That didn't navigate me anywhere, but that's fine. So if I look at my cart CTS here, if your purchase is undefined or it's null. And now that's working correctly. So we'll try that one more time. So here, let's move this up here. If my purchase does not equal to that or that, then we'll do this. Because otherwise you want to do that. Because we'll do that, and then that. That, I think, should correct that problem. Because here, I want to say else that. Try it again. And there it is. Still no icon. Because what I'm getting back from my purchasable item, something's not working here, but that's okay. We can fix that later. So let's try this one more time. And I'm going to say cancel. It should navigate me to purchase fail. Perfect. We're also going to, on my cart, have that button that I have on the purchasable items called past purchases. And now we'll do this very quickly. is on my web hub, I need to have one called public asynchronous task called request purchases. And we'll do a try and a catch here. And I need to get my var application user equals await get application user async, and then I want to get my log equals create it's called get log, and this wants to be a purchases get. And then here, I want to say my var purchases are my await services.read purchases asynchronous of my application user.id. And then we want to do this one, and we want to say a receive purchases. And then we want to write the log and return. Otherwise, I want to write my error log and then an internal server error. Easy enough. When I look at read purchases, I'm going to say this is a purchase VM. And then here we want to get my var line items equals await context dot purchase line items dot where my s dot purchase ID is equal to entity.id and it's active. And I want to include the purchasable item. Here we want to do a order by the date. And this time we want to order by my purchasable item.name. Can't you do this by your rank? And this is a purchase VM. Like that. Now for our last one, we'll give it a run. The reason why that's failing is because this object needs to have these as a VM. Give it a login. Go to my purchasable items, look at a past purchases, and purchase lines is working. So we still need to finish this little bit, but we're making very good progress here on the app. These are each one of my purchases with the paginator and the ability to sort and by date. So that's great. We go ahead and close this. Close this. Let's go ahead and open up source tree. Come on, where is it? And I'm going to do a commit here, which is AC19, and my time will be 3 hours, 10 minutes, and my comment is created cart or completed PayPal server-side integration. Completed, still needs to have purchase lines completed for past transactions, comments, and release notes. And we'll go ahead and commit that out here and push that out. And that's it for me today. I am out of time. I will be back tomorrow morning at, we'll say 8 a.m. If you have any questions, make sure you put them into our chat, discord.pixelhorrorstudios.com. Also, I put all these videos up at youtube.pixelhorrorstudios.com. Thanks again for the support, and I will see you later, guys. Have a good one. Bye.